Okay, so I think this is like a very hard question for a composer, because I think describing something is making you to kind of structure that in a way, and then you have to you feel obliged that you have to do after, like, how you describe your music. So instead of doing that, I think I might prefer to maybe describe my interests in composing music, or why I'm composing music. So I started composing music just by coincidence, to be honest. I was always like writing songs and, you know, imitating people, etc. And one day a composition teacher just asked me like, oh, how many years you've been composing, after seeing one of my, you know, like own songs that I've been performing. And I was like, oh, am I composing? I didn't even know like what is composing at that time. But I was making music, yes, so producing music. So I started more producing music in computer, and like performing music through those means, than writing music on paper first. But then I started learning how to orchestrate acoustic instruments, and my idea was, how can I write like the type of music that I like in electronic music without using electronics? Because at that time I discovered extended techniques and the other possibilities of producing sound from those instruments, etc. And that allowed me to find another way to kind of talk about my music, or talk about myself through music. So it's interesting, but I have just electronic music that I produce, perform, like, you know, prepare everything on my own. But I also have like acoustic music that I compose for ensembles, soloists, etc., for them to perform. For a while, those two things were going separately. And I've been asking myself why I don't like combine those things together. I still ask that same question, because when I compose music on paper, I don't have the obligation to use any electronics in my music, because I really think acoustic instruments have like a big potential already that I don't really know yet enough. So I feel like I want to discover more and more in that area and educate myself more. So I've been lucky enough to collaborate with many known and enthusiastic ensembles. But besides that, I am a keen improviser, a performer, a singer, that I perform when I have the chance. And it's really like feed my creativity in general. And I don't see music just one type of art form. I always like see as a whole, as a performance, something narrative. When you ask me like how to describe my compositions, I should say I always want to tell something through my music. Often I work in gender issues that I face, you know, my daily life as a woman in any society, and some other, you know, personal traumas that I've been dealing with through years. So yeah, I think I could describe my music like this. I didn't start music like by knowing I started music, to be honest. Like in high school I was doing theater, and in a play I needed to play guitar as for the role, and I just had like found one and taught myself to play some chords, to sing along with guitar, and I started to write some songs. At that time I had a breakup or something, like, you know, teenager stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna just write songs, and I was writing poems and converting that poems to music with the limited amount of chords that I can play at that time. But people started to like my songs. They were asking me, oh, you should record this, and then I would listen. At that time it was MP3 area, you know, like you can't really upload anywhere. There were like small studios. I was going with my friends. I had some friends who play also instruments. Like we were recording some of my songs, and then we were making CDs and giving people, hey, listen, this is my song, etc. So I think I started music like that, but still I was not really seeing it as my own, like as a profession for the future. It was more like fun, you know, I was playing with it. So I was more involved in theater at that time, and I really wanted to be an actress at that time. So it was a kind of tool for me. It was a kind of tool for an actress, that you have to know how to make music, perform music in a way. You have to know how to dance. You have to know how to use your vocal, you know, just like a general education, thing. So I was trying to build those tools at that time. But I mean, in any art form, I mean, if you think about like what influenced you in general, like as an artist, not only as a musician, the other artists around you, not only musicians. Like you go to a gallery, see a painting on the wall, think about it, and then it inspires you, it triggers an emotion in you, and that emotion becomes something in the art that you're dealing with. So I believe you can't really think differently. So, and especially nowadays, we really use a lot of stuff at the same time. So I don't really see composition, at least anymore, a way of writing music. You are producing a performance. You have to be aware of it. You have to know how the physical gestures of those performers are also a parameter of your, you know, story, right? Your music, your performance, or the other stage factors like light, movement, as I said, and interaction between all those tools are very important. And there are a lot of amazing composers dealing with those things nowadays. So I think it's also very inspiring to me to just kind of follow my contemporaries in that sense. For Berlin, I was invited Berlin Solar Improvisation Festival to improvise solo with alongside other amazing acoustic musicians. So it was pretty special. We also at the end of the concert improvised together for 15 minutes and invitation for the festival. I mean, I don't know if it's hard improvising electronics or not, because I started music, not music, but I started composing by using improvisation. Like when I was composing just fixed media, I still improvised sounds, listen them, and take the, you know, materials that I like, and later on edit those materials. And I don't feel like there is no other way of composing without using improvisation. Improvisation is also like composing at that time, right? If you listen the recording later, it's a composition. So improvisation is really important for me because I feel free, not tied down to any tradition, any requirement that I need to fulfill. Because the claim of it, right? You're saying you're improvising, so of course people cannot like your improvisation, but they can't judge you by the musical, technique you use. I don't know, like it's just your way of improvising, right? It's kind of gives you freedom and a way of playing. It's just like a game. I feel like a child, like I'm playing. It's just literally that feeling follow me through, like when I was a kid, right? I was playing with a toy, so it's the same happiness, same freedom that I'm improvising. I improvise with those tools and feel so free, inspired, creative. Like I feel like I'm a musician. Like I think it's more important for me to feel like I'm a musician than I'm a composer. Because like you will never know like how long you would like to compose, but you're going to be a musician in the end at every stage of your life because you don't know anything to do. Like you're educated in that, right? So, but being a composer have an effect in improvisation. Often I hear some type of comments like, "Oh, did you compose that?" Like after I improvise something, I'm like, "Oh, is it a compliment?" Like because probably I have a type of I care about form in general more, I guess. While I'm improvising, I think about it before I start improvising. Like, oh, I will have a form. I don't know what type of form. So last August, I moved to California, Bay Area, to pursue my PhD in composition at UC Berkeley. So it was an interesting year, let's say. First of all, like culturally, you need to adjust your environment, and you have to understand how people think and act and why is that. So it's been a bit challenging for a while, but after some point, you kind of get it. Like, okay, people think like that. These are the customs. I should do this and that and that. Then getting easier right now. But as for UC Berkeley, I'm quite happy there. I am the environment, like the other fellow composers that I am together with, are really talented, creative, inspiring people. So I am full of interesting individuals there. So it's one of the most positive thing about Berkeley. Also, I think Bay Area is very, let's say, eye-opening in a way, because it's not like Europe. Like you have to find your way there. Like I think maybe it's more American thing. I don't know, but you have to follow. You have to go and meet people and try to fulfill your interest there. So far, I mean, I had like positive experiences, except Bay Area is like a really expensive place, but for a musician it's kind of challenging. But yeah, as I said, I am very new there, so I think I don't have much to say. But for the first year, I want to be biased with some type of problems that I encountered because I was like, trying to adjust the environment. So yeah. So maybe I can talk a little bit how we met with Simon, and then how this project evolved first. Actually, it's quite funny, but we met in Berlin. He was having a concert, and I attended that concert as an audience. So I was like listening his trio here, like a jazz trio. So he played multiple instruments in that concert. So I was, and in a really like interesting way. So I was really impressed, and we had like some conversations about music that day, and then exchanged our numbers and like contact information in general. So he reached me out later that he said he checked my music and he really enjoyed, and he would like to collaborate, like at some point. And I was like, oh yeah, I mean, sure, it would be so good. So I visited him in Marseille, France, and we talked about some ideas. This is 2019, by the way. And then we thought like, oh, maybe we can do an album together, like, you know, why not just be played and we just improvise and see what we like together, etc. And then later he came to Istanbul. Back then I was living in Istanbul, and we recorded some music there that we didn't release yet, but we recorded some music there, like 3 tracks or something. And we were like, okay, it's going good. We're gonna do like the album. Then we plan to meet in Berlin again and do a show. And then he was planning to come back to Istanbul to finish the album. But as we all know, pandemic happened and everything is cancelled. And he actually tried to come, but then France said if he came to Turkey at that time, that he can't come back because if he got disease or something. They're teasing, can you believe it? Like, just so weird. And he's French, by the way, so that's why it's weird. And then I told him like, hey, just send me an improvisation and I'll work on that. Like, you know, just for fun. I mean, not like, we have nothing in our mind. We lost hope. We were like, okay, we are not gonna do this album. Like, it's impossible now. And he sent me something, and we didn't see and talk each other like for 5 months back then. And sent me like a very beautiful, emotional tune. And I listened to that, I was like, oh, that's like so emotional. And I sing over it, like, and then produced like some electronics on it. And then sent back to him. And he was like, that sounds great. We're like, okay, like, maybe we can work like that. Like, you know, you in Marseille, I am in like Istanbul, and then you send me, and then I'll just like, you know, improvise over your improvisations. And then it's gonna be improvised, composed something at the end. And the first track was When the Rivers Meet the Seas. We say that because it was like, we were sitting, he was like next to, you know, sea in Marseille, I was next to sea in Istanbul. When you look at the sea, you feel like, oh, you're close, but you're not. It's another shore, right? So we have a track like that in the album. So the theme of the album shaped around this trying to meet up but can't, you know, like whenever we tried, we couldn't do that. Always another lockdown happened. Always like something happened. And then I moved to Berkeley. Like, you know, it never worked. So we are like, okay, why not we are making this about that then? So we start one by one, like making the tracks, the songs. And if you just follow the name of the tracks, now you'll understand like, oh, why we name things like that. It's pretty obvious, like what we're talking about there. And so it's, I think in 6 months or so, we had the rough version of album. And then with the help of a sound engineer, a friend of mine, we mixed those, and then he mixed and mastered those. Let me first explain like why I'm so lost in blue. Maybe it's if you listen, when you listen to music, it says like red, black, white, like, you know, I'm singing those like bunch of different colors because back then I was trying to learn another language. I was bored during lockdown, and I was like, oh, okay, this is red, this is, and I was like, our team was like clearly, you know, C, like, and I was like, oh, blue is interesting. Like, we said like when the rivers meet the seas, we say Mistral. Everything was about like sea, everything was about water, and blue is the color of water. So I was like, oh, I am so lost in blue. Like, I'm counting the call myself like trying to find like the blue but can't find it, and I'm so lost in blue. So that's why in the end I'm like laughing, ha ha ha, like because I couldn't find it. I'm so lost in blue. So it's kind of silly. And I told about this to a visual artist friend of mine, Ecem Güleç, and she really liked that how I visually construct stuff. We collaborate a lot together, so she knows that I have like a very visual mind when I make music. So for a visual artist, I guess it's a game, right? Because they want to have an information, a visual information. So she made the video clip according to my, you know, craziness, like my, you know, what I describe her as I describe you right now. So I really enjoy it. I mean, it's really nice, beautiful, in between style. Yeah, I think that's overall. Yes, that's actually a good question because I really like visuals. I often myself produce visuals too for my music. I draw and animate those things, but not like in a very like how to say professional way. More of a like really analog. Like I do stuff, animate it, like record like with the phone camera and change it and like edit that and put some sound on it. Like I use that a lot. I really like making visuals in a hard way. I mean, I know how to do some jitter stuff on Max MSP, but I I think I'm not against digital visuals like in general, but I really try to connect with the visuals that I do instead of like producing something or generating something through a software, which I am trying to do. Yeah, so I record a lot of small videos and use them as material and change it. As I said, I am a very visual person, so for me, creating music is like also visual. So as a natural result of that tendency, I often deal with visuals. Also, I enjoy a lot collaborating with visual artists and directors, and when I had the chance, and I did had the chance. For years I also like composed for theaters, like did some teasers with them, worked with a visual artist friend of mine as a duo. So I learned a lot from them artistically. So yeah, I like dealing with video in general as an artist. First of all, I would not like to differentiate myself like as a woman composer, but I understand why this tendency is going on because we are a few. And there are some reasons behind that. I think it's not like just institutions are not admitting enough students to the programs. It's more coming from like the early ages of our upbringing. So women are not kind of supported to do like the type of musicianship that men does, like conducting, like composing. They are more encouraging to the side of like being beautiful on stage, like being a performer. Not all instruments, by the way. So I think this must change first, in my opinion, like from the years of that we are little. I didn't have any example in front of me as a woman composer where I was raised. But this had some positive and negative impacts on me. The positive impact is just because you can't compare yourself to someone else or set someone as your idol. You're kind of alone, and then it pushes your creativity maybe, because you don't have a limit there. And but negative side is you don't know you can be someone, or you can achieve things and be known in your area, because I was discouraged multiple times by men in music business, still being discouraged multiple times. So it's not always like verbal, but it's more sometimes really like hardly verbal, but sometimes it's just literally you feel like they don't want you. Not everyone, but some people like see you as a threat in their work or something, because they have this like horrible belief that like I heard that multiple times, so I think I am allowed to say that, like, oh, you're doing this because you're a woman. Because there is not a lot, so not because you're talented or you're hardworking. You're a woman, so they need one or two women, you know, to just show off, to show that they value diversity. That might be true or not, but it's not my problem as a composer. If a festival or other, you know, initiation would like to put a couple of women to show that they are diverse or not, it's not my problem. I just try to make music like every other composer does, besides their, you know, gender, right? It could be man, woman, or non-binary too, so they also encounter about that. So I think this like discouragement is kind of time to time making me more ambitious to do stuff, but not to prove myself to them, more prove myself to myself. Like, you can do it. Like, you don't need any, like, you know, encouragement, but you need like commissions, right? You need like some stuff, so you still need support from some places. Believe utopic dreams, because a doctor will not do that. So, or like someone else. But we have to, because it's our mission. That's what I believe. So I'm on this world to fulfill this, to fulfill something, show something. So I think that because of that responsibility, sometimes I feel a lot of pressure too. Like, I can't just randomly do something just because I like it. Of course, I do have the right to do that. I often do that, do music because I like it, but it's always carry a meaning to someone else that you can't control. Because I am, like, you know, first of all, I am woman and I am not European or American, whatever. So, like, you know, I carry a lot of responsibility for the minorities, let's say. So I hope I will feel in the future like I did my best. That's my only wish. So first I would like to start with Istanbul, because sadly, I think after pandemic and because of the political oppression towards artists and musicians, it's going really, really bad. It was not like that 10 years ago, but everything changed. Like, you know, this type of, the first group that are cancelled in any society are artists, because we talk a lot, or they don't want us to talk. So there's still like some kind of COVID restriction on musicians only in Istanbul. So like, it's kind of sad to see when I go there. And of course, this is affecting a lot how, you know, how people try to survive in a way. So I am deeply concerned. I'm deeply concerned the music scene there. And but I still, of course, I have friends there, so I enjoy performing with them. But I would like to just emphasize this, that like, as my duty as a Turkish composer or musician, not really going well in Istanbul. Like, such a beautiful city, such a pitiful thing to, you know, have. As for California, like, let's not say California, but Bay Area, because California is so big. There are some like small gatherings and improvisation scenes there, mostly in Oakland, some in San Francisco, but I think nowhere can beat Berlin when it comes to like a very lively, welcoming musical scene. So Berlin is such a special city. Like, every corner of the city there are some like gatherings, some music events. but surprising the audience, not only just like musicians doing their, you know, genre, they're doing their style of music. So it's quite impressive and like hopeful for a musician to we want to be in a city. Very open-minded, and the musicians that I met, they're like really open any collaboration, which is amazing for me because, as I said before, I have my inspiration from people, so I need people to do music, because otherwise, like, why I'm doing music? It doesn't make sense to me. I need people, so Berlin kind of provide that. Very beautiful and very skillful musicians, not only just, you know, open-minded. So it's also very educating for playing with them or just being in the same place with them. But I played in different music scene. Yeah. I don't fight with the system anymore because I don't think we can right now change. I mean, we can, but like change immediately, let's say, this horrible system settled right now. I think streaming music or releasing stuff online is more for your publicity, not really like sharing, or try to just, you know, sharing your music. It's more about your publicity because in this century, you're going to be forgotten if you're not online for 1 week. Because people are living in their phone or computers. So as a musician, you have to have a social media appearance. And I see those streaming platforms, one of those, like having an Instagram account, like having a Facebook page, having a, you know, YouTube channel, having a Spotify, you know, artist page. So it's more of like right now, to me, like a social media account. But how to earn money, I don't know. I mean, I'm not earning a lot of money from that, so. But I think we should aim maybe more performances, you know, like live music, and because artists generally, like the big artists, like I'm talking about pop artists or the other people, they don't earn money from streaming either. They do concerts and earn money from concerts, or like they do advertisement deals, like they do other stuff for earning money. They practically, if you think about it, they don't earn money from making music. They earn money from showing themselves that they're making music. So it's more about like your image. I mean, it's a horrible system because no one cares anymore. But you have two options. You're not going to make any music in the system, or you are going to go with the flow. So even you're an experimental musician, still people search for those stuff. I mean, I think it's more about like publicity right now, like hoping some people are going to discover you in that millions of billions of information pool. But same for any other, very hard for everyone. So I think we should insist just like releasing and doing things more than, because of algorithm is working like that, we are going to be more visible. When someone types something, then we'll be maybe more priorities in Google search or something. It's my humble opinion. I have no idea music business, but fighting is gonna favor me or unfavor me. I mean, it will not change anything in my life, so I will just go with the flow as long as I can. So, and then if I get, yeah. I think things are changing because the generation is changing. It's obvious. Like my generation is right now in our 30s. So there is like another generation, they're 20s. So they're making some cool stuff. So I think, yeah, things are changing, but it's only natural. Like, you know, every decade, new stuff comes because new generation occur, like, you know. So, but is it a positive or negative change? I don't know. I think there is no negative change in general, but of course, I think being introduced by a new, you know, let's say, new people, new music, new point of view is a positive thing for whom seeks for. And for electronic music, I think I mean, at least right now, when you say that you do electronic music, they understand something. I mean, they often think you do techno music, but some people started to know, oh, there's this like other type of electroacoustic music. So yeah. Also, I do believe we sometimes really want people to understand what we do like faster than that they possibly can. They don't have that obligation. Like they don't have to like listen your music and like, hey, that's cool, I understand. They don't have to. Like we sometimes care about our, you know, product too much. I try to detach myself from my music and see it as a product. In this way, when I have a critic, I don't care because it's not about me, it's about that product that I produced. And it's just a piece of music. I don't think we should just put a lot of importance in it. Just do another, just we should keep going because I think most inspiring people in the past were whom actually kept going. If you think about them, you know a lot of famous, you know, pieces, like famous piece of music of some people. But if you look their discography, look their composition list, like hundreds, like, right? They find something in the end. But I think what we should do, just like, we shouldn't think about what other people think. We should just like enjoy what we're doing and do it if we really want to do it. And in the end, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be you. What is more beautiful than that? While you're doing this, I think we all have like this ego in us, like to show ourselves, right? Like that, hey, I exist, I'm here, see me. It's all for that. So my only hope, like, I hope in 10 years I could be more me and I could confidently say it's me. Purely me, I mean. I think because I deal with a lot of like serious stuff when it comes to my own art practice. Like, you know, also I'm in a PhD program right now, so I listen like hard listening music all the time in there. In my daily life, I prefer to go for like more light stuff. Like I really do like listening pop music, but I was always liking it, not like because I'm doing this right now. And I watch like a lot of like super corny, you know, comedy shows. Like I really want to be a light, like person out of my, you know, practice time to time because I don't want to think about it. Because when I just see a movie which is like very good, like how to say, an art movie, right? Then I start thinking about the concepts, like the stuff, and then I'm like, oh, this is because of this and that. But sometimes I don't want to do that. I just want to watch something really stupid, like, and then laugh to it because I am just a normal person. I like cooking a lot, for example. Like it's one of the things that I do like, and I just put like I have like a pop music playlist while I'm cooking, and I just like put it, and I cook peacefully, you know, drink my wine or something, and yeah, watch like sometimes K-drama or some stuff, that type of stuff, and like try to, you know, empty my mind, like, and enjoy my life, you know. I think being a musician is kind of hard because of that, because like your relationship with music is not always you want to enjoy your time with music. So I try to differentiate those moments, like if I want to enjoy my time, so I don't kind of restrict myself to do so. So yeah, yeah, that's it. So I'm pretty findable in most of the platforms. Like if you type my name, Eda Er, to Google even, it's gonna give you like all Spotify, SoundCloud, like Deezer or the other platforms that you're using, and my personal social media channels that you can follow me, what I'm doing currently. So I think those links are going to be put in the description. Yeah, so thanks for watching and listening. If you came at this point of the interview, thanks a lot. And hope to meet you through music in other places again. Yeah, bye.